If only I was on this beach. Sadly, the market looks like this today. So that won't be happening anytime soon. Didn't mean to sound so greedy. But the market cap is steadily falling for all of crypto for the last 2-3 days. About 3 days. It's been steadily declining. We are now at a point that we haven't seen for over 1 month. A 1 month low. Why? Why is it happening? Plenty of YouTubers are willing to give you explanations, but let's look into more serious ones. Only the most serious of information will do for this channel. So what is it this time? Bill Gates talking smack about Bitcoin, Chinese summer campers, because consensus was bad. It's a bear trap. Huge partnerships are suppressing all of crypto on purpose. Mt. Gox 2.0. McAfee signing a deal with Pornhub so that he eats his own penis for a snuff film. Zimbabwe banning Bitcoin, European spring break, Norway's national holiday. I think that might be the one. It's Ramadan currently. There's so many reasons. It's no wonder Bitcoin isn't $10. But anyway, yeah, I got a haircut today. A little bit more sharp. So I've got a little bit of bad news to start off with, other than the fact the markets kind of suck. I'm not feeling very well. Haven't done for the past couple of days. I'm going to take this weekend off to recover. I know what you're thinking. As soon as I do, the markets go down. But guys, I'm sorry. Now, Bitcoin is barely over 8K at the moment. Ethereum has dipped under 700. Blah, 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 blah. What's this? Binance coin with over 17% gains? Well, it did peak at around 25%, I believe. But why? Binance announced that they are going to double the referral rewards that you get from having a referral link from 20% to 40%. And in order to get that double commission, you need to have over 500 Binance coins. Now, let me show you the issue that I have with this. Here's a lovely paused moment. I was wearing the same hoodie. I need to change. Sometimes I forget which hoodie I was wearing, and I like to try and switch it up. Anyway, back to serious point. In all of my videos, I have this link at the top for Binance Exchange. Now, I've had that there for quite a few months, and I get hundreds of thousands of views per week. They're not unique views. Many of you come back for more, which I'm very happy about. But I'm in a unique position to share my referral link with more people than most are able to. So how much have I made? Oh, you're gonna like this. Millions of Satoshis. I have made 142 referrals and gotten 0.049 Bitcoin, which is about $400. So, looking at this tweet then, if I want to double that up, not complaining, $400. Hey, it's 400 bucks. But yeah, it was shared with a lot of people. If I wanted that to double within the same time frame, assuming that this was a thing before, if I wanted that at the current market price to make my investment go up from 400 to 800, I would need to drop $7,000 buying 500 Binance coins. It may pay off eventually, but that is a considerable investment to make, especially if you're not able to share your link with hundreds of thousands of people a week. Most people aren't, I'd say. So why the jump? Well, maybe some people have been more lucky with their referrals. Maybe they've made a lot of money because they invited a whale or something. Clearly I haven't. So mileage will vary with the referral links. Maybe some people know something I don't. Something's coming. But most likely, here's my opinion. I don't know if it's real. Don't know if it's correct, but anything that Binance tweets gets bought up immediately. Bots watch that Twitter account and buy any single coin mentioned, and it pumps to the moon. So, the tweet was like 5 hours ago, as of recording, 6 hours ago, but you had to be that fast in order to get there right at the bottom of the pump, and bots are that fast. Anyway, did I mention I'm not a financial advisor? I forget. All right, let's look at some other coins. Streamer Data Coin, a currently rank 191 coin, has announced a partnership. This was announced at Consensus with HP and Nokia. Anyone remember Nokia? I had a 3210 back in the day. Snake, brilliant. They threw away their first mover advantage big time, didn't they? So, yeah, potentially good deal. Market doesn't seem to think so. But anyway, moving on to MonaCoin. Lots of stuff going on with MonaCoin today. None of it seemingly good. Apparently, one of the worst things that could happen is happening currently to the MonaCoin blockchain, and that is a 51% attack. And if you don't know what one of those is, I'll leave a link down to it below. But multiple reports of that occurring are on Reddit. So currently faulty confirmed payments are able to be made by those with the hash power to pull this off and being able to steal block rewards. So according to this poster, Western exchanges lost 90,000 US dollars due to the attack, and currently Bittrex have already disabled deposits of MonaCoin. Terrible, terrible news if correct. Unconfirmed, but again, multiple reports. So let's move on to something more cheerful, shall we? Recently announced a partnership with Nebulous and CertiK. This was announced at Consensus as well. Inc. is now going to start collaborating with CertiK. They're going to conduct formal verification of Inc. smart contracts to ensure program efficiency and security. All right, moving on to news a bit more generally. There is a country out there ranking the top 5 blockchains, and would you believe it, China is the one doing it. They've announced Ethereum as their #1 blockchain. Included in the top 5 as well were Steem, Lisk, Neo, and Komodo. Bitcoin was left at rank 13. The rankings are based on 3 criteria. How many fingers do I have? Technology, application, and innovation. The high ranking of Ethereum and smart contract blockchain networks could influence the Chinese government to maybe allowing people to use Ethereum in China. Not so crazy a stretch, but hey, there you go. Some more bullish news. Does anyone care about bullish news? South Korea to follow G20 unified cryptocurrency regulations. Essentially what this means is they are going to attempt to lax their policies, which are a little bit more stringent, in order to allow adoption and innovation in the sector. Pretty good news, I'd say. Anyway, what do I know? Switzerland formally considers state-backed cryptocurrencies, dubbed the E-franc, whatever that would mean for the government, whatever that would mean for people, I don't know. It's really hard for me to imagine this. I read this article, but I still don't really get it. Here, the interesting thing is, what if you were able to trade your cryptocurrencies for your nation's crypto, and therefore, that way, pay your taxes, so it doesn't look like money laundering? I don't know if that would work. That might be cool, but again, a Fed coin is really going against the point of blockchain, but there we go. So I have been personally asked what I do in crashes. How do I cope? How do I manage to push through? So YouTubers are in a different category, because obviously a crypto YouTuber can be paid in crypto for their work on occasion. They can have referral links. They can get upvoted for their posts on Steam, etc., etc. So a little bit different. But for myself, when I first got into crypto, I took out a loan to buy Bitcoin. I don't advise that at all. Not a financial advisor, but that was stupid and reckless. Ended up being a good financial decision. But Bitcoin was like $2,000 at the time. So at a point where I Forexed my original investment, I took out my original investment and just left pure profit in the market. And that hasn't changed. So anytime there is a crash, I'm okay. Even if Bitcoin or cryptocurrency should go to zero, I'm okay. It's all technically not my money anymore. It is, but it isn't. So ideally, that's a situation that everyone should find themselves in. But I understand greed is a powerful motivator to, you know, put a little bit more than that. But anyway, that's how I handle it. Speaking of getting paid in crypto, I've been paid in crypto for this ICO review. Now, again, whenever I am paid to do an ICO review, I hire multiple writers to review the ICO for me, to really break it apart, tear it down, and give me the best information, the most accurate and the most unbiased possible. So as far as I'm aware, I've also taken a look at the ICO, that everything is factual and everything is unbiased. However, I would urge you to get other opinions, to formulate your own through your own research, to be very careful when you spend your own money. Remember, this isn't an endorsement or recommendation, but I'm simply going to give you the pros and cons of Kora. The ICO is named Kora. Going to look at the pros, the cons, give it a star rating at the end, and let you know if I am personally going to invest or not. So currently, according to statistics, over 2 billion people don't have a bank. They are the unbanked. And Kora is specifically targeting those people in order to give them financial autonomy, just the benefits of having a bank. I know we don't like banks in this sector, but they are needed, mortgages, etc. And there are a number of reasons for this. 5, I would say, high cost for startups, for banks to go to these countries. A misconception that the unserved have little value, and so what would be the point? A lack of identification documents for people in areas, lack of trust and technological understanding, and 5th, lack of financial literacy. In comes Kora. Is a way people can identify themselves, a way that people can store their wealth, send their wealth, and they're going to do it via a smartphone, or as far as I understand it, any phone that can take SMSs, like this piece of junk. If you have a phone like that, I didn't mean to insult you. The interesting thing is they have managed to showcase their ability to do so. So in April of this year, they started their test product in Nigeria with over 300 local farmers. Apparently the test was a success. That ran on the test network with Android applications and the text interface. And you are able to expand that apparently with things like Salt Lending and Grid Plus, if you know about those cryptocurrency projects. So it's very good that at least they have a minimum working product. Now, let me get out of the way. The team currently consists of 10 members and 5 advisors. It's a pretty decent team as well, with both banking, financial, and transaction networking, blah, 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 experience. As far as partnerships goes, there are a few to talk about. They have 6. Eternity, Rivets, and Thrive Agric are the key ones. I haven't heard about that last one, but the first 2 are 2 big cryptocurrency projects. So let's get into the ICO details then. The ICO will go on for 1 month, starting from today until June 18th, or until they reach the limit. There are currently going to be, I need to write this up here because this is important. The coins available will be 755 million, and 45% of them are going to be sold in ICO. Any of them that are unsold will be burned. They are currently going for 10 cents each, but there is a discount. If you invest within the first 3 days, it's 25%, and it starts to go down after that. Sorry for US and China investors. No. No for you. Just no. So why are they doing this on the blockchain? Ideally, blockchain gives low transaction costs, gives transparency, trustlessness, universal connections, all this stuff that we're used to hearing about. It works in the financial sector. One of the issues with being on the blockchain, though, is currently, right now, transactions are not very cheap. And if you are going to have someone who is a farmer or whatever, and they only make a few dollars a day, if you have a transaction on the Ethereum network that costs 20 cents, for example, that's quite a lot of money. So Kora actually don't require any verification documents. The only requirement is that they have a mobile network number, so it's easier for people to adopt it. As far as storage and security goes, the Kora network will support national currencies as well as electronic currencies. Now, a cool feature that potentially might solve the earlier problem about being on the blockchain, about having high transaction costs, is the Cosmos network. Cosmos network is something in the Ethereum community that allows communications with other blockchains, interoperable blockchains. So the idea is that should they need it, they can do transactions using another blockchain. It sounds like technological marvels to pull off, but you know, that's what Ethereum's trying to do anyway. So, all right, that was mainly the pros, but we do need to discuss some cons, namely competition. We need to discuss competition. There is a lot of it. There are blockchain projects known as TransferWire, Revolut, WeTrust, potentially some others, AirToken. AirToken is a big competitor because they're an ISP provider, and they also have a lot more data on the unbanked people in Africa, whereas most other people don't have any data. Humanique.com is also a competitor. The CEO used to advise for Humanique, so he's well aware of them. The difference between them and Humanique, though, is that Kora does not require smartphones like they do. Let's get to some conclusions then. And if you made it this far, well done. So, presentation. I would give this ICO a 5 out of 5. It does a very good job in attracting new investors. Great website, strong media presence, very detailed white paper. Brilliant. Well done. The project itself, I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5. It gets points because it's got a good trademark, it's got several clients, it's got a working minimum viable product, and plenty of GitHub commits, which is awesome to see. The biggest problem with it, and the reason why it loses a couple points, is there are lots of local and global competitors. And I'm not just talking about centralized institutions either, I'm talking about blockchain ones. So it's a crowded space. So, not so much a detractor from Kora, but they do have a mountain to climb. I give the team a 4 out of 5. Experienced team, both in the banking, financial, whatever you want, really good, relevant experience. Loses a point because most of the technical members are just advisors and not actually full-time. So my final rating then, I'd honestly give this a high 3-4 out of 5. I like what they're doing. I hope something like this takes off. I really do. I think it's a really good project. It's just when you enter the ICO fundraising stuff, you know, you do need to consider some of the pros and the cons. You know, we're talking about people's money here, but the project itself, I hope something like this takes off. All right, that was that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Hopefully there isn't a dip. If there is, okay, it's not my fault. All right. I'll see you next week.